There we go. Everything's going. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Ride or Die Show. I am your host, Randi-lee. How is everyone on this beautiful Tuesday? I was going to say Monday, even though I know it's not Monday. It feels like Monday, but it's not. It's Tuesday. Because if you were where I am, yesterday was a holiday. Woot woot. Yep, it was great. Just meant today at work really sucked because then you had to do all of Monday and Tuesday's work. But it's fine. It's totally fine. It's totally fine.
What was the holiday that you were celebrating yesterday?
It's just the civic holiday. I have no idea what it's for. Nobody knows what it's for. It just is. And it's not a stat holiday. It's a pretend holiday. So like some businesses are open and some aren't. Luckily, I was in the category of closed. But I don't know what it is. If anyone actually knows what civic holiday is about, throw it down in the comment section because like I'd like to know, but I have no idea. And I'm sure I could Google it, but like just tell
Where's
me.
the fun in that?
Right? And if you don't know, but you want to make up something cool, like it's the day we celebrate elephants, because I have an elephant stuffy over there. Cool. Let's do it. Let's see how many crazy things we have that is about the civic holiday. I would enjoy that. That sounds like fun. So update on the movie. Update on the movie. It is very exciting. So for those who don't know what the movie is, it's called Goodbye Too Soon. It is based on the book Goodbye Too Soon, which is based on the true events of my brother's death by drug overdose. We are turning it into a feature-length film. Ooh. Script is done. Thank you. The casting call went out yesterday. So exciting. So if you are in the Niagara region and you're like, hey, I want to be in a movie, well, casting call is August 22nd. Will be auditions. There's a form to fill out on the website. No, it's not on the website because I'm updating the website. I'm lying. On the Facebook or on the Instagram. There's a link to a Google form you can fill out for your interest in it. And then the other super cool, very exciting thing. Oh, I got to make myself a list of all the announcements I need to do at the beginning of the show. I keep forgetting. So the auditions, they are taking place, and thank you so much to our sponsor, Ganga Moon Yoga. And so she has offered us her space to use. So we love you. Thank you, Andrea. And then the other super cool thing, hold on, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show y'all because it's great. The Kickstarter, it just launched today. It's very exciting. Yes, that is an AI poster, and only because we haven't done any type of filming or photos or anything for it yet. Once we do, though, it'll be real ones. We're not going to continue using the AI-generated posters. Once we have the actual cast, we'll have a picture of the actual cast. So take a look. Go on over there. Check it out. It tells you all about it. It's beautiful. It's long. I'm not going to read it all, but it's great. Lots of different reward levels and such. So look at that. It's beautiful. Oh, so beautiful. That one I made myself. I know. It's gorgeous. So take a look. Hop on over. Check it out. How do I stop share? There it is. And now that I've rambled on for 3 minutes, but I have to give you all that exciting news because I'm so excited. Welcome to our guest. She's a little bit nervous. I mean, I do have that effect on people when I'm like, oh, actually, we're live. We're not recording. I don't edit. Margaret Bryden, how are you?
Hi. I'm great. I'm happy to be here today on this Tuesday. I did not have a holiday yesterday, so I've just been working all week nonstop.
I'm sorry. I can't help you with that. Just come move to Ontario. Then you get a random maybe holiday. So.
I would love to go to Canada. Canada's sounding really good right now.
It does in the summer. It sounds great in the summer. And then it becomes winter. And it's not so great. I love the color of your walls. I love dark green. I have an accent wall in my living room that is that color.
Oh, yeah, it's a forest green.
I love it so much. I was trying, so I have that accent wall in the living room. I was trying so hard to find curtains to match it. I could not.
Oh, you know what? I went with terracotta.
Oh.
I don't know if you can see my...
Oh, yeah, that's a good, like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, terracotta with forest green. It goes really well.
It does. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'll have to keep that in mind. So tell us a little bit about who Margaret Bryden is.
Well, I'm a therapist and I work at a psychiatric hospital. And I also have my own private practice called Sage Insight Therapy, where I work individually with clients. So I'm pretty well versed in individual therapy and group therapy. And I wasn't always a therapist, though. Before I became a therapist, I actually was working in HR. I was one of those HR
Oh,
ladies.
I was
But
one of
that was never my
those.
true calling. I know, I know. And it sort of ate away at my soul. So,
Hmm.
um, after over a decade in HR, I took the plunge and went back to grad school for a second master's degree. My
Oh
first
my
one was
gosh.
a master's in business administration. I went
Oh,
back to grad school and I got a master's of science in mental health counseling, and I've been working as a counselor ever since, and I love it. I love being a
oh,
therapist. It's so much more
that's.
rewarding.
I love that. Yeah, I was in social services. That's what I went to school for originally, and I did it for too many years, and yeah, it ate away at my soul too. So then I quit, obviously. And now I feel like I'm actually helping more people by just having conversations than I was when my job was to help people.
Mm,
Because when something is when something's governmental oversight and they just want what looks good on paper, there's so much red
yeah.
tape, and when they want it to look good on paper, it doesn't actually work in reality. And yeah, couldn't
Hmm.
do that no more. So we like to talk about it. Yes, talking works. Actually, I was talking to somebody just before, like somebody at work just before I came here. We were talking about how, yes, talking works because my mom, I keep telling her she needs to go to therapy. She's like, why? She does. She does. And she keeps going, why? Talking about stuff doesn't help. I go, there's literally an entire industry around that. And I go,
At
and
talk
you've met
therapy.
me, right? I'm like, and you've met me, right? Your daughter, who I'm literally alive because of therapy. But it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's old school mentality thinking right there.
There's something really magical that happens when people talk that just happens naturally in conversation. You don't have to force it. This
Right.
ability to connect with people, I think, is really healing. Just connecting, just talking.
Exactly. See, you get it. Well, you should since you live it.
I would hope so. I'm a therapist.
So I mean, you told us what you do, but like, who are you in your soul?
In my soul?
In your soul.
Oh, I'm probably 1,000 years old in my soul. And I don't know. I probably have done a lot of different things. I feel like I've lived many lives.
That's actually fun, right? No, it is because that's how I think about it too. When I go and interview on other people's shows and they're talking, I'm like, oh yeah, and I've done this and this and this. They're like, really? You've done all those things? I'm like, yeah, yeah, like it's just normal to me. So it's fun to meet somebody else who's like, I've done a million things. I just, it's life. It's fun.
Yep.
Okay, so the eating away at your soul. I want to talk about that because that's a very pointed statement, and because I can quite relate to that statement, having been in social work.
Hmm.
And obviously, there's going to be things you can say and things you can't say, but as it relates to your feelings and your how you were feeling in your soul, what are some things, like some triggers, not necessarily, that might not be the right word. Anyways, what are some things that really stood out to you that was like, it is time, I need a change?
Oh, so many things. I think it was a confluence of factors that really led me to life kind of funneled me into becoming a therapist, and it was like 100 different things all at once. I think I come from a family background that wasn't the most functional, and that created some instability and insecurities in me. And I think over time, I really wanted to understand myself better and understand my family better and understand my relationships better and understand how to do it in a healthy kind of a way. And that was one of the things. Another thing was I really did well. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I really did well academically. I've always been kind of goal oriented and academically inclined, and
Got you.
I did really well in school. And I could have done a variety of things, and I just ended up working in HR, and I was okay at it. Like, I actually did quite well, and I went up to director level, and I just didn't find it as fulfilling as I thought like a well-rounded career should be. I just didn't feel like it was truly my calling or where I needed to be spending my time. And then on top of that, when you're working in corporate America, it certain things come to light about human interactions that are really difficult to palate. And I was working in a position, I was always working in HR in a position where I was sort of the intermediary between corporate agenda and individual agenda. And it just became unattainable for me long term. It really wasn't fulfilling or making me happy. And I tried to do other things. Like I tried to, for example, take art classes. I took a lot of art classes while I was working. And I would, after work, I would go to like the local community college, and I would take live drawing classes and stuff. And I think one of the times where it really hit home that I needed to change careers was I was driving to my art class one day after work, and I just sat in my car and I was crying. I was sobbing, and I didn't know why. There was no particular reason. Everything in my life was like more or less okay. And I was just like, I'm so unhappy, and I don't know what this is about. I'm doing okay, and academically, I'm doing okay in my career. I'm actually killing it at this art class. Like, what is going on? And things were just not quite right. Something felt off, and I think maybe I felt that in my soul. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I started looking for what might be my next move after that point.
Yeah, that's again, can totally relate. It's just like at some point it's some random thing will just break the camel's back, right? The straw that breaks the camel's back. You don't necessarily know what it is, but yeah, then you have that moment of I'm just so unhappy. Like what I'm doing well. I'm like you said, I'm doing okay, but I also hate it.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the weird thing. Both things can be true. You can be doing
Hmm.
great at something and hate it.
Yeah. I think hate might have been a strong word for me in that moment. I've never
Oh
really
yeah.
hated anything that I've done, but something was definitely missing. There was a puzzle piece that I couldn't quite put my finger on that wasn't there that needed to be there, and I think searching for that has been very fulfilling. Even though objectively speaking, I think my life is a bit more complicated now, and I left a very lucrative career to become a therapist, which was maybe not the most financially savvy move I've ever made. But honestly, I'm just so much happier. I love what I do now, and I do feel very fulfilled every day when I go to work and I get to meet with clients and connect with them over what the issues that really matter in life.
Right. And I think that's what's so important is work shouldn't be that thing where you're like, oh, I am going to go to work. It should be like, okay, I'm going to work now. I mean, obviously nobody wants to work. We all just want to be millionaires and do our own thing.
Nobody wants to do
However,
paperwork.
oh, paperwork. It's the worst. But it's like every day when I leave for my day job, and I say to my kid, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to that thing I call work. And she's like, you like your job? I'm like, I do. But still, I would rather just not. Right? It's not that I don't like it. I like it. And I love all the ladies I work with. My office is actually just females at the moment. Um, I love all the ladies I work with. We get along so fantastically. There's only like five of us. So it's a pretty tight knit group. But yeah, I mean, my kid is right. I do enjoy it. However, it wasn't my first choice, right? Like I said, I was in social work. I did um, fitness training. And now I work in an office. So it's
Hmm.
a big difference. And I'm okay with that. But there is that piece that, you got to figure it out. And the journey to figuring that out, isn't it fun?
That's one word for it. Harrowing
Ooh,
would be another.
harrowing. That's a great word for it.
Yeah, it's definitely been a roller coaster, I think, of ups and downs.
Yeah. What has been some of the biggest moments where you're like, "Oh my gosh, maybe this was a bad idea." And it might not have been that particular thought, but like the, "Oh my gosh, what did I do?" or "Is this the right choice?" or, those ones. Whenever you make a big change, there
Hmm.
tends to be that, "Ooh, did I do the right thing?"
I think second guessing yourself is probably second nature, and I tend to have a very curious and inquisitive mind, and I second guess myself a lot constantly. So I don't know that changing careers made me question myself more than if I hadn't. And I think that thought gives me comfort.
Well, that's kind of good. But when you do, so the follow up to that, there's a reason I asked. When you do second guess yourself in anything, because I mean, I do that with, I do that just going and buying like fast food. I'm like, oh, but I want this, but I want that. And then you get one. I'm like, oh, but what if the other one was better?
Hmm.
Stupid because I can just go back another day if I really want to. But what are some of the things that you use when you're having those, oh no, did I do the right whatever?
Mm. One of the things that I keep coming back to that I've learned through learning therapy and becoming a therapist is acceptance and commitment therapy has this really great set of, I don't know, parameters, coordinators, instructions, if you will, act instructions. But it basically is about our values and having behaviors that are in alignment with our values. And if you're able to do that, and if you're able to make meaning of your behaviors in a way that is congruent with your identity and who you see yourself as and your values long term, that brings a peace of mind that is really incomparable. And so when things are difficult, even if things are difficult, knowing that you are acting in accordance with your values, I think brings me a lot of comfort, and it gives me peace of mind of knowing, yeah, you know what, I can't do everything and I probably won't do it perfectly no matter what I do. But I'm trying my best and I'm doing things that I believe in. And if I believe in them, and the things that you believe in are worth doing even if you do them imperfectly.
Ooh, I like that statement. You have to keep talking because that's the quote I'm stealing from you, and I like it. So I'm just
You know,
gonna
I want to say I
give you a
stole that
minute.
quote from somewhere else.
You probably did, but since I don't know it, I'm going to steal it from you. So you just keep talking or repeat it because it's amazing.
The things that are worth doing even imperfectly.
I love it. I'm trying to write fast. I am. Imperfectly. There we go. See, I wrote sort of fast. I can even read it. That's how fast I wrote. It's like it's still legible. uh, well, it's funny. So, I mean, not funny. Everything's funny to me because that's my life. When you're talking about, making sure that things are in accordance with your values, whenever I was looking for whatever my next project was going to be, or like, say, starting this podcast, or if I went for a job interview, I would take a hot second and write down what was important to me. What are the reasons that or not even this, what are the things I want in life? So a big thing for me was having the time to take care of my kid because as much as she's 19 now, she has autism and she's not always making those 19-year-old decisions. And I mean, even 19-year-olds don't make good 19-year-old decisions.
Hmm.
But right, having the time to do that, having the freedom or the ability to do my podcast was very important to me and, other things. And so whenever I would make some kind of big decision, that's what I would do. I'd go back to my values. What is important? And does this
Hmm.
thing that I'm looking to do or start, does that match these values? Because as much as it might sound great, because I used to be bad at this, I used to be like, yes, that's good. Yes, I'll do that. Sure, I can do that. No, there's only so much any one person can do. So,
Yeah.
writing down those values and seeing, does this opportunity or this thing match these values? And if it
Yeah, it helps
does,
you prioritize.
that's the word I'm looking for. Yes. See, I knew you'd get there for me. And if they match, perfect. Go for it. And if they don't match, well,
Hmm.
find something else maybe.
Yeah.
Right? Awesome. So how was it? Were you single at the time? Like was it a big interruption to a whole family system, or was it like, I'm just gonna
I
I'm
was
good?
married. Yeah.
So how was that like being like, because I tell my husband all the time, hey, I'm gonna go do this. Hey, I'm gonna go do that. And he's like, sure, honey, you go do that. Like when I started my podcast, because I am a little, I'm a little autistic and ADHD myself, I tend to start things and not finish them.
Mm.
So when I started the podcast and I'm like, I need a camera and I need a microphone and I need all these things. And he's like, okay, how about you try it first? And then if you're doing good, then we'll upgrade. And so after I had done it for the first year, he's the one that bought me the super fancy
That's
super
nice.
fancy
So
microphone,
supportive.
right? He's like, I I love you, but I did not think that you'd stick with it. Because that's who I am. I try so many different things and they just meh. But this was something that obviously is very important to me, so I kept doing it. And that's, how was that when it's like, oh, I gotta go do something else. I know for me and my husband just like, you go try. I'm here when
Well, I'm not currently married.
No, but at the time we're looking backwards.
Yeah, I wonder if this had something to do with growing apart and taking separate paths.
Yeah. And that's not always a bad thing.
No, I think we're in much better places now, and I think we're in a good place with each other now.
Well, that's
So
good,
I think it all kind of worked out.
right? And that's what I love to hear because it can be really hard when you're going through a big transition from whatever life
Yeah.
throws at you.
Well, I got married very young. I was still in
Mhm.
my early 20s when I got married, and we were together for 18 years. It was a long time. I was
Wow, that
married for a
is.
long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's okay. We've moved on.
That's awesome because there's that saying, some people are here for a long time, some people are here for the now. I don't know what it is, but it's like that person is good for you in that moment, but it's okay that you're not with them anymore. There's some saying it makes it sound really
Yeah.
much fancier than what I'm babbling on about, but I like it. I like the saying. Um, I say that to my kid all the time because like not in spouse ways or relationships, but like friendships, which are
Hmm.
types of relationships. But she'll be like, "Oh my gosh, we're not friends anymore with this person." She has like this group of friends because they did whatever the teenage drama is. I'm like, okay, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you grow apart. Sometimes you need to move on. Things change. Your priorities change, and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, I was actually, this is interesting that we're having this conversation because this morning I did a group on, like a psych ed on friendships. And I
Oh.
was literally explaining that same concept that people have a lot of idealized understandings about friendships. And I think movies and American movies have played a big role in that. And this idea that you're born in one place and you die in one place, and meanwhile you have the same group of five friends for your whole life,
Yes.
and they're going to be your loyal friends who will be with you through thick and thin for forever, and they'll save you and they'll have your back and they'll save you from the aliens that are coming to invade us, and like your friends are just going to be there for anything. And I think it's created a lot of unrealistic expectations for friendships, and for really what how friendships look like in the real world, which is that they're messy and they come and they go and they weave together, and sometimes friendships fizzle out because people are doing different things now and they're hanging out in different places and they have different jobs and they had to move and they have kids now and all this stuff has happened. And it doesn't mean that anything has happened that was wrong or that somebody did something wrong.
Hmm.
People just kind of grow, and they grow in different ways.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. That's how I'm going to explain it next time she's telling me about her teenage drama. And some side note, she'll tell me all this drama, and I'm like, okay. I could never remember it all because I mean, when she gets going, you think I'm bad with the rambling and the side stories? Oh, I ain't got nothing on her. Like honestly, people, I ain't got nothing on her. So she'll start rambling, and I try to figure out and follow her train of thought, but when it falls off the rails, I don't know how to get back on. So I mean that description of sometimes they fizzle out and sometimes you just grow apart. I like that growing apart thing. She'll probably understand that one. So I'm gonna steal it from you.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right, steal away. I don't
Right?
think I came up with that either. You're just, I'm just
Whatever.
regurgitating stuff from other places too.
But to be fair, after 2,000 plus years of people talking, there's only so much out there, right? We're all stealing other people's stuff at some point, even when we don't realize it. So it's
Hmm.
fine.
It's so, honestly, so unusual to have an original thought.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I just go with nonfiction writing because then, I mean, it's my story anyways, which I mean is regurgitation, but it's better than regurgitating a story that's already been written. And then people are like, you just stole this story from such and such author. I'm like,
Hmm.
now I just stole it from my own life. um, okay, so now you went to school, obviously, lots of hard nights, lots of studying, lots of all that fun stuff. When you finally made it all the way through, how did you feel?
When I like finally started working as a therapist,
Yeah, when you
completely
finally.
overwhelmed. Grad school is a lot of one thing, and then when you get into the actual practice of therapy, it's a lot of another. And it's all good. It all kind of complemented each other. You need a lot of theory in order to be able to go in and do the practice, but the doing of the practice is very different than maybe what you learned in grad school. And it's a learning curve. And every position that you might go to and every location that you might go to work as a therapist might be a little different.
Yeah. And I think that's true of a lot of jobs, right? Like just because, so in my instance, office administration and coordinating and such, um, what I did as a social worker, a lot of it was easily transferred over. So you look at the office environment, still the environments themselves so very different because I did not like everyone I worked with then, especially management. However, there's so many transferable skills, which I think is really cool because at the time I was social working, I was an employment counselor. And people would come to me who were double my age. I was in my 20s when I did this, all right? I was just a baby. And so people would come and I'd say, because they had lost their job, for whatever purpose, whether it was an injury, so they couldn't do it anymore. Where I live, there is a lot of seasonal work. So, the season changes and now they're unsure if the business is going to make it through or if they'll be open next season, whatever it was. So I would always say to them, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they're like, I'm already grown. Especially men. Men always were like, looked at me like, you're just a little girl. How are you going to help me? I remember this one person, he was like, he actually said, he goes, I don't mean any offense by this at all, but you're a baby. I don't know how you're going to be able to help me. And I go, just give me a chance. And he goes, I will. He's like, because I'm open to it. He goes, but I don't know how this is going to go.
Yeah, I've definitely experienced that from clients as well.
Right. And I found it was more from the men than the women.
Oh, I got it from everyone.
Yeah. Mine was more the men. But again, I think it's because they saw me as like a daughter as opposed to, somebody who could show them. But by the end of it, he was in a completely different career that he had never thought of before and he couldn't have been happier.
Oh,
I'm
that's
like,
wonderful.
this
What a
is
success story.
right? It was amazing because I always posed that question to people when they were like, I'd say, what do you want to be when you grow up? Well, I guess I've always been whatever it was. I've always been a laborer. I guess I need a laborer job. But just because you've always done it, why does that mean that's what you need to continue to do?
Yeah. That idea applies to so much in therapy.
Exactly. Well, that's why I think it's so relevant to say here, right? It would blow people's minds. They're like, I honestly never thought of it because I've done it for 20 years and I know that's what I know. I go, okay, but there's so many other jobs that things can transfer over to.
Yeah.
And that goes through life. The things we learn in one place help us in another, no matter what it is.
Yeah. I've
All right.
definitely felt like even though my life has taken, in a career-wise, many varied courses, somehow it actually has always built one thing on top of the other. You wouldn't think that HR and therapy have a lot in common, but they do. And
I'm,
one of
I
my
mean,
undergrads
HR is
yeah,
dealing with people. Therapy is dealing with people.
yeah, and one of my undergraduate degrees in UC Berkeley was linguistics. And you wouldn't think that that
Oh,
applies to anything, but it applies to everything. Everything in linguistics is about pattern recognition and communication, and that just
oh
applies to
yeah.
everything.
Yeah, I wouldn't have put that together had you not finished that thought. I would have been like linguistics. Okay, yeah, cool. Okay, sure. Whatever you say. Um, I think though, so yeah, in the HR, you're dealing with people obviously in a very different way, but that interpersonal connections that you do have to manage, because you still have to manage the boundaries. That I think is one of the hardest things for some people to go from, say, staff to manager. That's what happened when I was a social worker. Or there was a staff member there who, she was just a coworker, and then our manager left, and they ended up putting her in the management role, and it did not go well. It was a disaster. Um, so, being able to, yes, use what you've learned from job to job, but making sure that you understand the boundaries and the differences in each job, right? You go from HR to therapy. Therapists have to have very, very firm boundaries, I feel like. Because, like, I've told my therapist a lot of personal things. And she was very, very kind. Like, I love her, actually. She was great. But, sometimes you'll see on TV shows and the therapist kind of steps over that boundary and you're like, oh, what are you doing? And it's all for TV, And I'm like, oh, what are you doing? You can't do that.
Bad therapist, bad.
Right? You're fired. Yeah.
Oh yeah, therapists do have to hold a lot of boundaries, but it's very different. It's very different when you're working with a vulnerable population or vulnerable people who are there to get help, and your job is to help them see a different way, see a different perspective, and keep them safe.
Oh, I like that you say that, and keep them safe. So, and obviously you can't give specifics for anybody. But what are some things that you can do where you're keeping a boundary but also keeping somebody safe?
I mean, I do a lot of safety planning with people because I work at a hospital. So I work with very acute populations with intense depression and suicidality all the time. So I feel like providing a therapeutic presence, being calm, helping them work through issues slowly, and putting together safety plans is just all part of a day's work.
Yeah. So you said a few really good things there. Staying calm. Number
Hmm.
one, and this can go for, I'm talking about general, you meet you're having a friend or your kid, and the first thing some people say is, calm down.
Oh,
That has
and
never worked.
ironically, that does not work.
Exactly. So staying calm yourself keeps the other person in a much more calm state. Don't say the word
Oh,
out loud.
yeah, 100%. The best thing you can do for somebody who's really kind of out of control, losing it, emotionally dysregulated, as they would say in therapy speak, is maintain your center yourself, stay grounded and be calm yourself and be a calming presence.
Yeah. So, funny side story here because we love them. Um, I'm working at my day job, and I got a customer on the phone. They are very irate, just very angry, yelling at me, hollering. And I
Mm.
just stayed as calm as I possibly could. By the end of the conversation, everything was resolved. And one of my coworkers was there, and he looks at me and goes, holy shit, how did you do that?
Hmm.
And I mean, we got into it between him and I. We were joking, whatever. But like, that's the thing. When you stay calm, the other
Hmm.
person tends to. I love your word of fizzle out, so I'm going to use that again. They fizzle out of their anger because they're not receiving that same thing back.
Hmm.
But our first reaction of humans, and I used to be horrible for this, um, is to you go up here, I go up here. You go higher, I go higher, and now
Yeah.
you're both at it, and nothing's going to
Now
be
you're both
resolved.
really high.
Right? Nothing will be resolved. So when you said that, that's so important. To highlight is yourself staying calm, not saying the word be calm.
And it works. It works in a lot of, not just in therapy, just in life situations,
Exactly.
or dealing with upset children too. It works in a variety of situations. A lot of what we do as adults, especially to children, is we model behavior,
Yeah.
what it means like to deal with difficulty and stay calm.
Yes. I have another side story for that one because you talk about children. So, for those out there who have behavioral children like my own, so I mean, autism takes on many forms, yada yada yada. But mine has violent meltdowns. Not as many
Mm,
now as when she was little.
I'm sorry. That's really difficult.
It is very difficult. We're in a good place now, though.
Okay.
Yes. So now, though, now that we have worked through a lot of things or whatever, when she starts to get that way, I'll look at her and stay as calm as possible. I go, why are you yelling at me? I'm not yelling at you. And instantly, she's like, I'm not meaning to yell. I'm just so upset. I'm like, I
Mm,
get that.
kind of helps her get out of it.
Exactly. So I mean, steal it, guys. I'm throwing it out there. If it works
It's a good
for
one.
your kid, right? Just and the main cue to that is you have to stay very calm with your voice, not be upset, and just go, "Why are you yelling at me? I'm not yelling at you." And you have
Hmm.
to be open, not can't be aggressive or anything. It has to be like, I'm here for you, but
Yeah,
let's
it's
talk.
it's gently bringing attention to the behavior in a way that's non-confrontational,
Yeah.
and it works.
So there's my tip I've learned over the years of dealing with the very violent meltdowns. I know when you're talking about safety plans, I'm like, oh, I got a few of those in my file cabinet over the years.
Hmm.
Some worked, some not so much. Okay, so now you've been doing it for quite some time now,
A few years, yeah.
couple years. Um, what made you open your own? Because you do both in a hospital and you have your own practice.
I do. Oh, I couldn't wait to open my own private practice. That was always the goal.
Nice. And and it works. I'm guessing it works flexibly with your other job.
Yes, absolutely. And that was part of the intention too, to have more flexibility with my scheduling and day-to-day life and be able to do what I loved and really explore that further and still maintain a better work-life balance that would work for me.
Going back to those values, you know.
Hmm.
See, everything comes full circle. Okay, so you're working, it's, you said the psychiatric hospital, so a lot of very, I mean, we've had our fair share of attending our local psychiatric hospital over the years, so I can only imagine what you might experience there. How different is it for you to do your own personal clients? Because I'm assuming they're coming to you not in the complete emotional upset that you tend to be when you're in the hospital.
Right. Patients who come to the hospital tend to be in really acute situations and have been dysregulated for some time and maybe are not on their medications and they're trying to figure that out. So it's a very different vibe, to say the least. But people in private practice, I tend to work with a lot of high functioning working professionals and couples who are just going through life transitions or difficulties or kind of rediscovering who they are and their identity, going through identity transitions, or working through past trauma. I do a lot of EMDR as well.
Okay.
Um,
That's
so
one
I
I
do.
haven't tried, but my friend did it, and when she was explaining it to me, I'm like, I kind of want to try that one, but I haven't
Yeah,
yet.
I have movement rapid desensitization. It works, and it works in a way that complements talk therapy really well. So
Oh, okay,
I
that's
I
good to
found
know.
it to be very powerful.
Oh, that's good. For those who don't know, just because I don't know very much about it, can you explain a little bit more what that is?
So it's a technique that doesn't actually involve that much talking. You sit down with a therapist, you work on figuring out what your priorities are for what you want to work through in therapy, and maybe it tends to be some sort of traumatic or difficult experience in the past. It's kind of contained, pinpointed, and then you should work with your therapist on how to contain if you become dysregulated. So they do certain techniques like let's work on what your safe place is and let's work on how to contain this if we open up
Mm.
something and we don't have time to finish it within a session. So that's really important. Make sure that if you are doing it, you're doing that with a therapist. And then you move towards actually doing EMDR. And it actually is, I think it's a little bit woo woo, and the science is a little unclear about exactly how it works, but there's something to do with the eye rapid movement that maybe simulates REM sleep eye movements that
Ah.
helps your brain kind of recategorize things. And you do a lot of bilateral stimulation with your body that just kind of helps your brain kind of refocus and recategorize as you're working through difficult memories. And it can help get a memory or an experience unstuck, and it can help you categorize it a little bit
Oh.
differently so that you can move from it or move forward it or process it differently. So it really helps. And basically you're going to be with a therapist, and those who are looking at us live, your therapist is going to kind of move their fingers back and forth in front of your face like that,
Oh,
and
okay,
your
that's
eyes
how it
will move along
works.
with it. Some people have like a light beam, some people do clapping if they're more sensory, but the
Okay.
idea is to kind of do a bilateral stimulation of some kind, and you're moving your eyes.
Does anyone
And
get dizzy? I feel like I'd get dizzy.
no.
Oh, okay.
No, no, unless they have actual visual problems. I've never had that happen.
Okay.
Um, and then people are guided through a series of questions based off of what comes up doing the eye rapid movement to help you process through it really quickly.
Very cool. Yeah, because like I said, my friend did it, so she just sort of told me like her experience of it, but I didn't know that a little more in depth. And again, I could Google, but no, I don't want to. Somebody else tell me. Just like how
It's really
civic
fun. I
holidays
love
for
doing
elephants.
it.
I love it. Um, oh, we're getting close to the end. So something really cool about Margaret that we haven't gotten into yet, because I was saving it for the end of the show, of course. She writes bad poetry. I love
Yes, I
that.
do.
I love that. Because if anybody knows me, which unless you're new to the channel, you know I write don't want to say good poetry per se. I write rhyming poetry. It could be good, it could be bad, but my I just make sure it rhymes. That's my big thing. So I love poetry. I have 2 books out that are poetry books, and I just
Oh, wow.
love it. Yeah, love it. So, and I know you said that you have a whole bunch there, and I totally did not prepare her for this because I literally said actually at the beginning of the show, it's like there's no way to prepare for this because we're gonna have a conversation. I have no idea where we're gonna go with it. It's
Hmm.
been a blast though. I've loved it. Um, but I would love to hear a bad poetry, whatever one you feel like you want to share. I
Oh
know.
my gosh. Okay, so maybe a little bit of context about my book and what bad poetry means. So I call it bad poetry, and I consider myself a bad poet because I use poetry a lot in therapy. And what I realized when using poetry with other people and for myself is that the idea of poetry is a bit intimidating. And in my own personal journey with poetry, I think I kind of ignored it for many years because I thought it was a little too, like, I didn't quite get it. I didn't quite get the practical value of
Mm.
it. And it felt very intimidating. And sometimes I would try to read a poem and I kind of wouldn't get it. And then it would make me feel a little stupid. And I was like, I don't know why I need to spend time doing this. And so I kind of was almost against it. And it was through the process of becoming a therapy and mainly kind of writing my own poetry that I really started to understand the value of it. And lowering barriers for people to be able to express themselves is, I think, so therapeutic. And lowering the inner critic, lowering shame, allowing people to really embody their voice and give narration to their experience is so empowering. And again, the things that are worth doing even if you do them imperfectly. And that's part of the motivation behind just setting out to write bad poetry. Try it, it might change your life. I guess there's something really magical that happens with poetry. I think from a therapeutic perspective, poetry helps us slow down. So when
Hmm.
you're having a million thoughts at once and you're trying to think about one thing and you're thinking about 15 things at the same time, writing things down, doing creative writing is a way, kind of like a mindfulness practice, to help slow you down. You cannot write as fast as you think. And writing down really helps you create a little bit of psychological distance to see what's there and allows you to start seeing things a little bit more objectively, which engages your metacognition, which is your ability to think and manage your thoughts. So these are all very powerful things that are happening. And even if you're not really thinking about that, they're still happening when you're writing bad poetry. And the ability to do that, engage your psychological flexibility, and really embody your narrative authority, which is assigning meaning to the events in your life, can be something that can help people get unstuck and move forward from really difficult situations. And just starting to put language and words around your experiences, using metaphors, being creative. It's a way that helps us understand ourselves and helps create more self awareness. So, there are all these wonderful things that are happening when you're doing creative writing, and especially when you're writing poetry. So I really love poetry. I've really come to embrace poetry over the last few years, and I've
I
really
love it.
seen it be like a really powerful tool in therapy. I use it a lot in individual therapy, I use it a lot in group therapy, and there's something magical that happens when people take something from their experience, something that was maybe very personal, very vulnerable, and they start writing about it. It lowers the barriers to start understanding your own experiences. Sometimes people feel a bit intimidated and scared of saying things out loud. Somehow writing them down is easier. And so you start that process of understanding your experience. And then if you feel up to it, you share it with other people. And that creates so much validation and connection. And my book is about that. It's about
I love it.
exploring, it's about understanding yourself a little bit better. It's about writing, even if you are doing it poorly. And it's about connecting and embodying your narrative authority, really giving voice and meaning to your experiences. So that's what it means to be a bad poet.
I love it. Okay, I am now a bad poet, but my poems are good, guys. Go read them. Um, but I'm a bad poet. Right from right from a young age, I didn't realize what I was doing. I was doing exactly what you're saying, though, but poetry, writing poetry, literally saved my life. So I'm a
Mm,
teenager, super depressed, thinking everybody else is also super depressed because I don't know. And I would write poetry to do exactly what you said, express the feelings out, all that fun stuff. And I wrote about killing myself on more than one
mm,
occasion. so that I didn't do it. I was expressing
Hmm.
it through words to not express it through actions. And that was all shared in the first poetry book, which actually was the first book I ever published way back then.
Wow.
Um, and so it is so cathartic and just refreshing and
And it creates containment. So there's this idea in psychodynamic therapy about containment, which is when you take a really difficult, unprocessed experience or feeling that you're having that's quite overwhelming, and you write it down and you're putting structure around it, you're putting language, and then you're putting it on a piece of paper, which is a tangible thing outside of you, outside of your body, outside of your emotional turmoil. It's outside of you. There's something that happens that helps create containment for that issue, and then it becomes less charged. It becomes less lethal. it I almost equate it to kind of like when you're having a big overwhelming emotional experience, it's like you have a wild animal unleashed inside of you, and you
yeah.
feel like at any moment it's going to lash out and hurt you. It's just feral in there. And when you write it down and make something with it, make a poem with it, do some creative writing with it, make a story out of it, although I'm partial to poetry, there's something that happens that cages it. It cages that wild animal, and now it's outside of you, and you can do whatever you want with it.
I love that. I want my kid to draw a picture of like a person with a crazy wild animal inside of them. She's an artist. I think she would do so well with that because she really loves drawing creepy stuff. And so
Hmm.
I'm going to throw that at her and be like, do this at some point. It'll be like 5 years because she takes forever. Um, but it will look very cool. And then I can throw it in the merch store. That'd be fun. Um, okay, so number one, what is your book actually called? And number two, we want to hear one.
Yeah, so my book is called, I'll hold it up here, How I
Oh,
Understand It,
pretty.
A Bad Poet's Guide for Mental Health and Resilience.
Oh, I like
And
that
I
cover.
think,
It's like ripping it open.
yeah, it is
I
like
like that.
unveiling this package and
Yeah.
seeing what's there. And there's a little bird. I love birds.
I
But
love
this
it.
particular bird is a sparrow, which is a symbol of resilience. And so most of them, all of them, the poetry in this book has to do with building up your mental health, fortitude, and building up your resilience. And it covers a variety of life experiences. So everything like divorce, which I've been through, parenting, even having losses and grief, all kinds of life experiences. This has been meant to be sort of a resourceful, therapeutic tool that you can use whether you're going to therapy or not. And it's poetry, but it's written for people who maybe don't care too much about poetry or have never really done poetry or
I
appreciated
love it.
poetry. So it's
I love
very
it.
accessible. Um, and I wonder if there is a particular poem. I'll choose a short one since I know
Yeah. Do it.
we might be running short on time, but I'll choose one from the chapters, which is chapter 3, The Paradoxes We Embody. There's a whole chapter on how we embody so many contradictions, and naming them and owning them can be such a powerful experience. So
I love
there's
that.
a chapter about a bunch of paradoxes, and one of them is A Bird's Eye View, which is on page 47. So this is just a really short poem called A Bird's Eye View. From a bird's eye view, I'm hilarious. I can hold that perspective and laugh through my personal tragedies. It is perhaps even more tragic and more hilarious when I choose not to.
I love it. I love it a lot actually. I'm a visual person, so I closed my eyes and I'm picturing myself as well, specifically as a sparrow since you had just mentioned sparrows. Normally I go with blue jays though just cuz they're so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And they're so elusive. Like at least where I am, as soon as one lands and I'm like, "Oh, get my camera." And I'm not slow. Like I do it fast. They're already gone. And I'm like, "Dude, I just want a picture." They're very rude that way. Robins are easy to get pictures of, but blue jays. Anyways, I like that. That was so pretty. And yeah, short, sweet, but like so to the point of this is how you could perceive yourself, but like do we perceive ourselves?
And why or why not if it would be to our benefit?
Yeah. Oh, I love that. So where are people going to get this book?
So this book is available now for pre-order on Amazon and Barnes and Noble and local bookstores in Salt Lake City, which is where I'm located out of.
Mm.
It's available for pre-order now, and the official launch date is September 1st.
Oh my gosh, that is so soon.
I know, I'm
Can
so
you believe
excited.
that is very exciting. Then this is perfect timing. Everybody go and get it. Get ready to get it. And like pre-order and then you'll get it and then you'll just have it and then you've got it. Could I say
And
that in any more ways?
it's a book for, especially for people who might maybe be interested in writing their own poetry. There are over 100 different reflection, journaling prompts, and poetry prompts in the book that you can use to start creating your own poetry of resilience as well. And there's lots of instructions in the book on how to do it.
So it's more than a poetry book. It's
Yes,
a
it
guide.
is
I
more.
mean, you did say that before. You said it's a useful tool. So I just want to reiterate that for everyone.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
so excited. It's been really a labor of love. It's taken over 2.5 years to get to this
nice.
point, and I'm just so excited that we're at the point where I'm actually launching it into the world, and I'm hoping that people really, really connect to it. There's a lot of me in this book.
I love that. I think they will, just based on that one poem. I really like that. But again, I love poetry to begin with, so I might be jaded. Where are people going to follow you?
Well, you can keep up on me at my website, sageinsighttherapy.com. And you can also see me on Instagram. My handle is at sage underscore insight underscore therapy. I should probably have a shorter handle, but I find I really love that name, Sage Insight Therapy. And I'm
It's
also
a
on
great name.
Facebook. And I publish articles on LinkedIn as well. You can find me on LinkedIn by
Oh,
my name, Margaret Bryden. And I post articles on there about creative writing and about therapy and about poetry. And I just posted an article the other day about how and why, the science behind why creative writing is healing.
oh, that's not you. I was trying to find you. Hold on. Sage underscore. Oh, I need to spell things right. Okay. Sage underscore
Insight.
insight. There, that one's you. Underscore therapy, right?
Yes.
I forgot the word insight because I was trying to do it too quickly. Yay! Here we go.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, the first one I put in there, I was like, oh, that's a much older lady. That is not you. Oh, and look, you got pictures of the little sparrow doing different stuff. Oh, it's so cute.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm a sucker for nature, actually. My last poetry book that I came out, it was a poem and then a photo of nature for every single one.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for it. It's called Thoughts of a Warrior. Wow, that took me a minute. Thoughts of a Warrior, if anyone cares, but we're not here for my book, so I'm just going to put it out there nonchalantly. You can find me whenever.
I
Um,
love it. What do you think kind of is an impulse that have has kept you writing, even though obviously you're not a teenager anymore?
so it helps me. So even when my brother died, the very first thing I did to process was write 3 poems
Hmm.
before anything else. So poetry is really where I write to get out my emotions. And then the other stuff that I've written, pretty much all nonfiction, but the actual full novel type ones, like Embracing Me, I wrote those again very cathartically, but with
Hmm.
a certain purpose. So Embracing Me was the purpose of sharing my story with depression because I had this moment where my kid, she was so upset, she was much younger. Anyways, long story short, I realized somebody somewhere needs to talk about these things. And why the hell not me?
Hmm.
Is basically what it came down to. And so ever since that sort of moment, I've been very, very obnoxious about it.
I wouldn't say you're obnoxious.
Oh,
I feel
thank
like
you.
you're a
Thank you.
cheerleader for poetry, and so am I.
Exactly. So it's good. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It was like I kept writing because it's cathartic and people need to hear these stories. So why
Hmm.
not me?
And nobody can tell your story like you can.
Right? That's what I'm saying. And it's quite the story. I've had to do multiple books. One book just can't contain it all.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because it's usually related to some kind of trauma. So maybe it's not such a good thing, but it is what it is. Maybe that's the reason I have all of these issues is to share them with the world. So thank you so much for joining us. This was a blast. You feel better now because you were a little worried at the beginning. You're like, oh no, I can't prepare.
I'm always nervous. I don't know if people are going to be weird. You were not weird
Yes,
though,
I
so that was
am.
good. You were weird in a good way.
Thank you. Yes. I'm weird, but it's more in that curious and spunky way.
Yes. Well, I've really appreciated this and getting to know you, and thank you for having me on your podcast. This has been awesome.
You're very welcome. Everybody, be sure to go and follow Margaret. I already did on Instagram, so haha, I win. But go and follow her. Pre-order that book. Say the title of the book one more time for us.
How I Understand It, A Bad Poet's Guide to Mental Health and Resilience.
I love it. And again, share these episodes out because we talk about such important things and we need to share them out because if we don't share them out, who the heck will? We got to talk about these things because the only way to end the stigma of mental health is to speak openly and honestly. Bye.